Alright guys, I thought I would make a review on this boat. I know a lot of you guys were waiting on me to tell you what I thought about it, and so I finally found a fairly calm day, so we're gonna do this in my style. I'm not just gonna sit and talk, we're gonna fish while we talk about it. So it might be a little drawn out, but it's real foggy this morning, and you know, I'm thinking that it's been warm for a day or two compared to the way it's been. Maybe some redfish might have come up here and gotten in shallow water. So, but yes, this Sea Ghost 130, she's 13 feet long, 33 inches wide, here at the widest part, 74 pounds, capacity of 550 pounds. Things that I do like about this boat right off the bat: I like that front hatch. I like how them two levers are real easy to work. You just can use one hand to just easily open it up. It's a big compartment. You put a couple of rods down in the bilge if you needed to. Put your life jacket in there, whatever. It has a nice sack. And really like it. It has a gasket around there to keep the water out for the most part. It's not watertight, I would say. I would say water resistant. I was spraying it down the other day and a little water got in. It's just not built for pressure and water pressure, so I don't hold that against it. I mean, there was all of these hatches, the center hatch as well. It's supposed to be watertight, they say, but when you're spraying the leaves out of it, where the gasket comes together over here, it has a little crack in it. I can fix it with a little silicone, but they didn't come together real close, and so you get a few drops of water in it, but that's, again, not a big issue. I really like the way this is laid out here, where you can put all kinds of different things, and your Scotty holders, you can put it in any hole you want. There is an improvement that I would do, or a modification, getting shallow up here, but I find it's not user friendly to get in and out of real easy. That front, you gotta lean way up here to get that unbuckled and this unbuckled, and then when you pull it off and you go to put it back on, them straps are a little spring loaded, so they want to kind of fall back in, and you wrestle with it and wrestle with it, and that could be changed from the factory, or a person can do it, you know, if they don't decide to do something about it. But you could easily have a hinge on the other end. I seen one guy had wire hinges. I think it's kind of got to pick up as you go, but I could easily put a hinge there and some kind of snap back here, or for sure be able to eliminate this strap up there, the one that's a little hard to get to. It's hard to push down on it, is the big deal, because it's so long and the gasket's real tight. But all in all, I love how you can get in there and get to your stuff, like your batteries for your, you know, for this GoPro or whatever you need, right handy. But it's just not user friendly. But you know, it's one of those things. The more you use it, I'm sure the easier it will be for access. But this boat was laid out really good. I've got to give it to the engineers. I got to say that they done a bang up job as far as convenience. These side pockets on each side of the seat that hold that 3600 series plain old boxes. I didn't even know what one was till I bought this thing and went over to Academy, and oh, there's all kinds. There's you know, they have different shapes or whatever, and for $4 you got the one I wanted. And anyway, we'll make a couple of casts while we're talking. I don't see nothing, but it just looks fishy to me. But that's really handy for whatever tackle that you're gonna be using. And the rails, you have rails on each side that's you can mount whatever. Has a place there for the transducer. I don't really go with the depth finders on this boat because I primarily use this for shallow water, but there would be times it would be handy to know where the edge of the drop off is and stuff, so it's there if you need it. It has a nice hatch right behind the seat, a round hatch that is real easy to open and shut, and it has a bag that holds your stuff, keep the little stuff from moving around like your keys and stuff. Gotta say I like that. The rudder system seems to work really good. I don't use it a lot because I fish in such shallow water. I don't need it dragging the ground, and this boat tracks so straight that you really, I haven't found a need for when you're just paddling to someplace. It just tracks so good. Now it has a big cargo hold in the back. You can put your crate with all your stuff in there. The reason I bought this boat was I was looking for a boat that would float a little more shallow than the native watercraft Slayer 10-foot boat that I've been fishing in for a year and a half, and it does. I have a scupper plug out right there, and it's down about 2 inches, and to the top of that hole when this thing is sitting on a flat surface is 7 inches. So that tells me it's about 5 inches of water that she will float in, and the native took about 7. So that's not a lot of difference, but 2 inches is 2 inches, and sometimes that makes the difference. And so yeah, I like that. And if you're not familiar, but you probably are if you're looking to buy one, this boat was $8.99 delivered to my house from, I bought it off of Amazon, and From the Vibe was whose website I bought it from, and the process was pretty painless. I had little issues with the trucking. They missed one day of delivery, so I had to wait a few days, but nothing major. But there's a dealer there in Houston. I don't really know him, but he commented on my video a couple of videos back, and he put his information there. And if you're local for, you know, around Galveston or Houston area, you might give him a call, because it's always best if you can deal with somebody local. But where I live, it was Houston and there was Corpus, and I'm right in the middle, so that kind of, you know, that was out of my way to, so I just done the ordering thing. But anyways, that's what I gotta say about that part of it. And now the stability, or let's talk about the seat a second, because guys, that's something that if you don't have a good seat, you might as well forget it. You might as well buy something else. And I'm going to bring up another YouTuber, I'm not talking down about his video or anything, but I'm just wanting to make some clarifications to just in case, you know, his video was one of the main reasons I bought this boat. He said he had a native like I do, and he had the seat out of this one, and he had it sitting beside the native, and he said they're the same seat. Now he might have said they look like the same or whatever, and I might have just took it wrong. So there again, I'm not bashing him. It's just that I kind of had the impression that they were possibly even made in the same factory. And I said, well, man, that'd be great. I'll have a spare seat for in case something happens to this seat or that seat, one or the other. I'd have a spare. Now the Native is a lot more expensive boat. If you're not familiar with that, of course everything's online, but that's around $2,400, and I bought it in Corpus, so I ended up paying taxes. So you're talking about $2,600 boat. So we're comparing a $2,600 boat to a $900 boat. So that's not really apples to apples or oranges to oranges. But anyway, the seats, it's not, they look like one or the other kind of copied each other because they are shaped the same or whatever. But in this seat, the tubing is smaller around, and there's a little bit of difference as far as the length from the front to the back. So I can't use the seat out of my Native in here. The T-joints underneath the seat are wide and they won't fit down in the grooves on this boat. It's possible to use this seat in the Native because the back of it just sits on a rail. But yeah, but it's a comfortable seat nonetheless. The only difference is in the back part of the seat, the backrest. You have a material on this one that's not stretched very tight, and when you lean back you feel the edge of the rim of the frame. And on the Native it has real tight material, and so the material is all you feel when you lean back. So it's not a deal breaker where like I'm wearing my coat right now and I can't even feel it. But I was in here without my coat the other day, and I, right below my shoulder blades, I could feel the seat, the rail of the frame, and I thought that was a little bit, you could always put a little padding there to keep that from noticing it. But there again, it's not a deal breaker. I just thought I'd mention it because, seats are so important. And this seat sets up off the boat only about 3 or 4 inches, and the Native is about 10 inches up. Now I only mention that because that I'm going to talk about the stability. This boat, all in all, is stable. The first few times I was in it, it took me a while to get my sea legs, and it seemed like it was very unstable compared to the Native. But you're comparing two different kind of boats. That Native has a catamaran style bottom, and this boat has like a V bottom, semi-V, or a very shallow V. And so everybody knows a catamaran style boat are noted to be super stable. And if you're not familiar with what a catamaran style is, that's your kind of like a pontoon boat. It has a pontoon on each side, kind of down, and then down the center is like a channel. And they built it that way because your native is a pedal drive boat, and they were trying to make it to where it's kind of like a tunnel, but they put the prop way down low, so they weren't really using it like a tunnel, but it's just for stability reasons, I would imagine, mostly. And which is why it's more stable, even though it's 10-foot boat and this is 13, and it's, like I say, when you're sitting here, you don't even think about it being an issue. But if you was to stand up, and I did stand up, and today where it's calm, I believe I could stand and it would be okay. But the boat's not really designed to stand up in it, because what happens is when I stand up, I have to stand up about right here, which is about 6 inches in front of the seat, because of the floor has a little raised part, and so that puts me 3/4 way to the front of the boat, and I don't carry a lot of stuff in the back to counteract it. And it raised the back up, and when I had a little light breeze behind me, it was like, well, you had like if you had a rudder turned real hard one way, and I couldn't control it. Now you could pick the seat up, and you could back up to where you're possibly standing right where the seat's at, and it would probably do better on a day like that. But anyway, it's that's just what I've found. Other people may have other results. I've seen people in videos, they're standing up, they're walking around, they're shaking, they're doing all kinds of walking on a tip and everything, and for that matter, it is stable. But it's just not as stable as your native style bottoms. But thing about when you have this style versus that style is this one is designed to paddle, and it paddles so easy. I mean, just a couple of strokes and you're moving along. And so for an all-round boat that you can paddle and paddle it easy, I gotta say it does really good. There's a fish running in the water. I don't know what it is. Might be a little drum or something. This water's really too shallow. I'm just moving along while I'm talking. I'm not expecting to catch right here. If I hadn't have been making this video, I already would have probably moved to a different spot, because I hadn't seen the first redfish really. But it's just so beautiful here. I'm waiting for the fog to lift. I got a place I want to go try here in a little while, but well, I figured this would be a good time to talk to you guys about the boat while I'm waiting for the fog to lift. But I don't know what else. If you have any questions, I guess leave them down in the comment section there. Would I recommend this boat? I would say yes. If you're looking to get into the sport and you're not sure if you want to spend that much on a Hobie or a native, then this is a good alternative, because you're not going to be out. I mean, they're not exactly cheap. I'm one of them guys that's kind of tight with my money, and when you talk about $900, that's still a lot of money. But when you see what all you get for your money, it's a real good value, I believe. Now, that was probably just a mullet swimming. But anyways, guys, I just want to thank y'all for watching the video. And I know we didn't catch any fish, but this is kind of a boat review. I wouldn't really put it out there, put a video without catching fish in it normally. But again, if you're coming to this channel and you want to watch it just for the review, you don't really care about the catching right away. but I asked for you might want to stay tuned and watch my channel, and we can see this boat in action. Maybe after a while I'll get on some fish, and you know, but right here is not where they're at. And but for you guys that been watching my channel, you know that I do a lot of hunting. I hunt until I find something, and I think somewhere today they'll be out there. But it was so foggy when I started. Now you can see, I can see all the way over to the barge, intercoastal barge canal over there, and man, it looks like all the fog is lifted, so it's time to go do some hunting. But I was just kind of following the edge of the bank and all. But I'm just thinking again, anything else I might have missed. If y'all think of any questions, just pop them in here and I'll try to answer them for you. I mean, I gotta say I like it. I kind of expected it to be a little more stable, being it was 3 feet longer than my other boat. But there again, we're just, that other boat, it starts at a dull point and it goes out to 34 inches, and then it stays 34 inches down the whole way to the end of the boat. And this one, how it comes out and it don't get to 33 inches till right in here, and then it starts going right back down to a narrow point in the back. And that's, you know, all for paddability, even, or it's probably not even a word, but hey, I'll make new words all the time. Alright guys, but she paddles good. Now I don't have a lot to compare it to paddle boat wise, because the kayak I've been fishing with is made to pedal, and when you pedal it, it does pretty good. It has a little trouble with the tracking, but if it wasn't for the tracking issue and also taking about 17 inches of water when you're pedaling it, that's a drawback. And most of my waters like this right here I like to fish in, that's about a foot of water. So you know, that's where I think this boat's going to come in handy. I've already went through water today that I know I couldn't have went through with the other boat. I mean, I was touching bottom over there, and there's plenty of water right here to hide redfish, but it's been really cold, and I think the redfish are still hanging out in deeper water, somewhere close to where they can pop up out of the deep water and get up here into the shallow water. But we're gonna go see here in a minute. There's some marshes that's kind of close to the edge of deep water back that direction over there, and I'm gonna go look, see what I can find. But all right guys, I just thank y'all again. I want to say God bless, and hope to see you again later.